Good morning, Jamaica. Welcome to the Star Spangled Sit-Down. I'm your host, Bobby Adelson Jr., and we're very, very happy to have you guys with us today because we got a special guest. We're going to be speaking to Glenda Green. She's the country director for Peace Corps Jamaica. Let's bring up Glenda.
Hi, Bobby.
Hey, good morning.
Yeah, great to be here.
We're very excited to have you on the show. So, of course, I already mentioned you're the country director of Peace Corps Jamaica, but tell the folks at home, who is Glenda Green? Tell us about your background and where you're from and what drew you to the Peace Corps.
Wow, that's a great question. So, I am the great granddaughter of Julia Crenshaw Sanders, who is the daughter of an enslaved woman, Mariah Crenshaw. I am first generation college. I have a legal background, barred in the state of Maryland, and I have over 30 years of strategic planning and policy development. And I would say what drew me to Peace Corps, I got to blame it on my fourth grade social studies teacher, Miss Taylor. She just created this curiosity about the world and the people around the world. And so I was blessed with the opportunity to serve as a country director back in 2015. And I walked into it, and it has been the most amazing experience since then.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, I'm actually going to pull up. We got some folks tuning in. For those of you that are at home, you could feel free to throw your comments out in the chat or your questions. But we have a shout out from Rebecca Wellborn. She says, "Hello, RPCV Jamaica, 1996 to 1998, tuning in." Hello,
right.
Rebecca.
Yeah.
So again, for the rest of y'all, please send in questions, comments, and if we have a chance to get to them, we will. You mentioned your social studies teacher, Miss Taylor. How much of an inspiration did teaching and learning from adults that you had in your life and leaders in your life affect you as you continued in your career?
I think so many of my teachers, to me, teachers are superheroes. They have the ability to change the trajectory of a young person's life. And so many of them, I could just continue to list them all. Miss Taylor is one, Mr. O'Brien was another. Just opened my mind to possibilities and places and things, and even being an attorney. Came from teachers who saw something in me that I didn't see or even think of in myself. So absolutely, they're superheroes.
I agree with you, and how happy Miss Taylor and Mr. O'Brien would probably be today if they heard that you meant it, or they made a difference in your life. Let's talk about the Peace Corps volunteers here in Jamaica. What are some examples of what Peace Corps volunteers do generally in Jamaica?
Yeah. So since 1962, volunteers have worked in various sectors, including youth development, environment, small business development, community health, as well as our current programs of education and agriculture.
We're going to pull up. We got another shout out from a Peace Corps. We got Steve Lawrence. Wagwan, he says, RPCV 2014 to 2016 in education in St. James.
All right.
Hello, Steve. So as we know, COVID has been going on for 2 years now, and I understand that the Peace Corps volunteers haven't been here in Jamaica in a while. So what have y'all been doing in the absence of volunteers?
A lot. Staff have been really busy. We've been doing various trainings with teachers and our agriculture partners. We've sat down a couple of times and been doing some strategic planning with our partners, preparing for the return of our volunteers, which we hope will be very soon, as well as some amazing staff-led activities. There's an amazing program, Project Read Aloud, where Peace Corps staff have been partnering with teachers in a virtual setting, helping young readers with their reading comprehension and story time, as well as our medical officers working with the Ministry of Health with vaccination efforts, as well as some amazing teaching trainer, classroom management training. We partner with Teach Like a Champion. They are well renowned for their classroom management, and we were able to provide that training to teachers last summer. So lots of things, lots of staff-led activities, as well as strategic planning, lots of work.
You spoke about the return of volunteers. Do you have any news to share, any idea of when those volunteers may be coming?
Right. Well, so I cannot give you a specific date, but I can say that we are working hard to make that date be sooner rather than later. That's all that I can say.
So let me ask you a question. You mentioned that the Peace Corps first started in 1962. How different was the Peace Corps in Jamaica back in 62 versus 2022?
Well, I think the difference really hasn't changed. Our mission is still the same, is world peace and friendship. Our goals, our 3 goals are still the same. So the only thing that is probably changed is that, there's probably more technology available to a volunteer than there were 60 years ago. They probably had to wait a little bit longer to have that communication with their families and friends back home. But our Peace Corps is still the same. Our values and our mission are true as they were back then.
So since we are at the 60-year anniversary, how do you all plan to celebrate?
Oh, lots of great things going on. We're working on collecting stories. So if there are some RPCVs out there that are willing to share their stories, please stay tuned in various platforms. We're going to be collecting those stories and sharing them out. We're also want to get some stories from family members and community members. They are so important, a part of what it is that we do. We can't do what we do without the community and the family members. And so with that, we're going to be having an award ceremony to highlight and provide them with that, an appreciation for all the hard work and that they've done for us. And then we're going to try to create a documentary, a small short video that kind of highlights all the work that we've done in our doing with Peace Corps in the last 60 years, highlighting our partnership and friendship.
All right, looks like we got a lot of former Peace Corps folks coming in. We got Richard Sittler. He says he was in Jamaica from 2000 to 2002. Hello, Richard. Let's bring up, we got Jerry, Jamaica, I guess it's 14, Port Antonio Area Land Authority. How does it feel to have all these Peace Corps folks chiming in?
Amazing. So one of the things that I love so much, volunteers. I think I've had a lot of different jobs in the course of my 30-some years of working, but Peace Corps is probably the job that I can say that I love. And the reason that I love this job is because of the Peace Corps volunteers. They are amazing human beings, and for me, they represent, I think, what is probably the best of America. That ability to leave their comfort and find themselves engrafted into a community and being a part and staying a part of that fellowship, being family, connecting with families that are unlike them and are different histories than them. And that's just an amazing part of my job, and what I love about it so much are the Peace Corps volunteers.
Well, we're in Women's History Month right now, and as a woman that is in a leadership role, what are some of the most important leadership lessons you've learned working for the Peace Corps?
So I think there are a few things. One I would say is talk less and listen more. I always be able to hear the voices of everyone, give everyone an opportunity to be at the table and to be heard, especially those people who don't think they have something to say, listen to them. The other thing about the room, don't be the smartest person in the room. Recognize that you are often not the smartest person in the room. My time at Peace Corps, I've worked with the last 6 years, I've worked with some of the most amazing subject matter experts there are in the field of education and health and agriculture. So recognize that fact. The other thing, I've been called, at my last post, they called me the wandering CD, because I would wander around the office building, around our work site. I wanted to talk to everyone. I wanted to be in their space, as opposed to, being behind my closed door and at another end of the building. But I wanted to go into their area where they were comfortable, and to be able to hear from them. And then the last two things I would say is, be true to yourself, and don't be afraid to share your journey with your team. I think that transparency is so important. If you mess up, fess up, and I think people will appreciate that. And then finally, I would say invest in your team. Help your team grow. I think it's Brinson said, train your people well enough so that they can leave, but then you treat them well enough so that they don't want to leave. And so I think those are the things that I think I valued, and that have been very helpful for me as I have led various teams during my time here at Peace Corps.
Fantastic words of wisdom. We're running a little bit low on time. Could you let the folks know at home how they could find out more about this year celebration?
So they can, follow us on Facebook, on the gram, as well as Twitter, and also stay on the lookout on various Jamaican media platforms. The Gleaner and other folks over the next 6 months will be featuring us in various ways.
Great. We actually have that scrolling at the bottom of the screen right now. Glenda, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Bob.
World Peace and Friendship. What a fantastic motto. Congratulations on 60 years, and we're very, very excited for the possible return of your volunteers.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all for watching at home. This was the Star Spangled Sit-Down, and have a great day.